Hi, my name's Tony T-Rex Chohan. Most of y'all know me as T-Rex from the pool world. I'm renowned for being a great one-pocket player, two-time US Open one-pocket champion, and I want to give you guys, the introduction to the game of one-pocket. It's the best game in the world. The luck factors are smaller and a little more strategies. It's like a chess game on a pool table. So I want to thank you guys for joining us and subscribing to the YouTube channel at Tony T-Rex. This is how you're going to be notified about all the new stuff that I can come out with on a video and explain the game of one pocket to everybody. It costs $0 to subscribe, so at the end of the day, if you help me, it's going to help you at the end of the day. At least you're not going to ever miss a video. So this is what we're going to do. The first shot on a game of one pocket comes down to 15 balls. It's like played like, but most people would think it's a game of 8 ball, but it's not. We're just gonna, you don't have to put them in order. You shoot any ball into your hole. It's the first person to make 8 balls in their hole. So if I break from this side of the table, my pocket will be over here. If I break from this side of the table, then my pocket will be over here. Now you can bank this way into the stack so long as you're saying that that shouldn't be your hole. Those are just some of the beginnings before you even break the balls. Let's say you don't make a good hit. Meaning if you contact the cue ball into an object ball and then you come close, but you don't hit a rail with one or the other. Well, that's considered you owe a ball. Let's say you go this way and you're coming around. Anytime you owe a ball, you get ball in hand behind the kitchen is what we call it. Some people play base of the ball, which means so long as half of it's, not the full half isn't over, but if less than half is over, or if it's less than half that's over, then it's going to be then it's no good. You can't take ball in hand and shoot that ball. But if more than half is over the string, and you basically take the string from the middle of the diamonds from each diamond. So if more than half is on this side, you can shoot it. The other thing is other people play where, if any part of the ball is touching the line, then it's no good. Which I like to play that way just because it makes it simpler. That way if there's any piece even touching, there's no mystery behind it. Another thing is, all right, so say we're gonna break the balls. So first, if that's my pocket and we're playing dead even with no handicap, then I'm just trying to make 8 balls in my hole and the other person, my opponent's trying to make 8 balls in their hole. So like I said, it's a chess game. So the first shot comes down to the break. So I'm gonna pick that corner pocket. Now when breaking the balls, you want to try to break the balls with high inside, a little follow through, and catch the very minimal part on the first and second ball. You want to try to catch them both at the same time. By catching the first and the second at the same time, you're going to be able to push balls open. Cue ball is going to run straight through and the inside will bring it back up. So your ideal spot for your cue ball would be in between about the second diamond and a quarter up. So right around here is where you would love to be anytime you break the balls. All right, next up, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate the break. To me, see how my cue ball is right here? This is like a perfect spot because it's hard to detect. So in one pocket, now I'm just basically trying to shoot a shot in order to protect the person from being able to shoot back at their hole. By saying that, this is what we'll basically do. So say if I want to, the thing in one pocket, the great game about it is there's no right or wrong shot. You're just trying to make sure that you don't leave your opponent a shot to retaliate to bring a ball towards their hole. It's like playing a game of Risk on the pool table. Everyone played that younger. So this is just another game like that. It's like playing chess and Risk at the same time. There's so many shots and most people don't see them because they haven't watched enough or they haven't been demonstrated to that side of it. Well, if you watch a lot of my videos, you'll start to see that I see a lot more on the pool table than most do. And that's why I'm known for playing one pocket. So now, let's just say the next shot after the break, I'm just gonna try to play an offensive and defensive shot at the same time if possible, if it's available. The other thing is you can always look for balls that are wired in the hole towards your side. Sometimes you can come off of a ball and stuff like that. In this, for instance, there's nothing really that is offensive and defensive for me. So my next best move would be, I want to try to get my cue ball down here and not mess up these two balls, which are lined to my hole. So as you see, the 11-5 is kind of lined to my hole, but I have no chance of getting to that side of the ball to make them. So I'm just going to run off the 2 without trying to mess these balls up and leave the cue ball here. As you see, I hit it so thin that I never even barely touched the 2, so that worked out even more. And the only thing is the 2 ball does have a chance to go 2 rails towards the other person's hole. So what I'll do here is I'm gonna watch my cue ball more than I'm gonna watch the 2. The 2 is a benefit. Now what's so best about this shot right here is the fact that I was just able to put a ball by my hole, stick my opponent behind the stack, not really give them much. Now the 3-10 has a chance to go, so it's like I'm playing both sides of the pockets, you know, so now I'm shooting towards this way. I have 2 choices. I can kick at this ball just to make the 8 and leave it there, or I can play the super aggressive shot and shoot the 3 into the 10, hoping to make the 10. It's a difficult shot, but if I was to shoot it, I'd have to shoot it super hard also. So I'm gonna take the offensive shot by looking at the ball. If you come above, you're gonna see where the angle is and everything else. So let's try to do it this way. The safer shot, realistically, is to just go ahead and shoot the 8 in. So I'm gonna kick at that ball. All right, now, vice versa. Now I'm trying to play a shot where I can protect my hole in any ball and leave my opponent on that side. So I will just come off the 12, thin enough to come about here and let the cue ball drop in here. Now the best part of that shot is the fact that I protected this rail from my opponent being able to get to this rail. So if they did try to get to this rail, they're gonna have to masse around this ball, which I won't say is impossible. The other shot will be, I can play an offensive shot on the 11 and bring my cue ball straight back down this way. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and try this 12 ball bank. Now, I don't care if I make the 12 or not. I'm just drawing the cue ball, making sure I get to draw it to about this side right here and then fall back. I drew it a little bit too much and came underneath it. Is okay. That's kind of the luck factor that comes in sometimes. If you don't hit it dead perfect, you might still get a good roll and still do it the right way. The come out can still be good. All right, now I can try to run off the 2, come this way and try to stick the cue ball right back in there. Now my opponent's starting to feel a little more pressure of getting out of the way of not giving up a shot. So what I'm going to try to do is just go ahead and come off this 10 ball, catch enough of the 10 to draw my cue ball to here so it pulls back. And that works out even better that I got enough on it to come up this way. Now the 7 ball might go actually, so maybe I didn't do so well. So the 7 ball, just straight back bank it here. All right, now let's just say, for instance, that that's my opponent's hole and he has a ball in there. Let's just say there's no more balls on the table. So this game came down to the very end. As you can see, all the balls that are gone. Let's say me and my opponent, we both have 7 balls each in each hole. So, but that's his hole and that's the last ball on the table. Well, I have 2 choices. I can either try to take it out, which obviously, as we can see, is pretty impossible from how deep it is. So the only choice a person would have is to go ahead and scratch with the ball. So what we do is we just follow the cue ball in. Now, when you follow the cue ball in, you take a ball out of your opponent's hole, which is the one that you just made, and then you take one out of your hole. So now you have to make 2 balls, and now your opponent only has to make 1. But there's 2 balls on the head string now, lined up dead straight. So if this is my hole, what the gentleman you just did, you have 2 choices. You can either play an offensive shot as far as trying to make the ball, which is hard, but let's just say the ball's frozen. Try to make sure these balls are frozen. Let's just say you take another cue ball and you just make sure they're frozen and dead straight. And the reason I'm making sure they're frozen and dead straight is so if that's my hole over there and I need 1 and my opponent needs 2. You put a head on with just a little bit off to the left, since that's my hole over there. If my hole was on this side, then I would go to the right of the ball. But here we go. As you see, I'm just drawing dead straight. You see how that 2 ball followed through? So maybe if I came over a little bit more, it would have gone this way a little more. But I hit it dead straight and I drew the cue ball in the same line as where I put the cue ball, which is the object of trying to make that other ball. And then you always have a chance with the other ball that's on behind it to go 2 rails banking towards your hole. So that's one of the options. That just comes down if you end up fouling. Now the other way of fouling is, let's say you're in a bad spot on the table. Let's just say it's like this and the person's got a ball like this and this is their hole and you don't have no shot, let's just say, or whatever. Let's just say it's hard to play safe or whatever, or it's hard to make the ball, whatever happens to be what. And it's like this, let's just say. So now it's even harder for the person to kick out of it or anything like that. You can take a foul. And by taking a foul, you just barely touch the cue ball. You can't push, you can't be pushing and holding your tip on the cue ball because it's like cheating. But if you just barely touch the cue ball like that, that's considered a foul. So if you fouled in that spot, well then you would take another ball out of your hole and stick it on the head string, so long as it's centered off with the point, with the spot. So as you're doing that, these are just some of the ways that you can end up fouling. Say you're in a bad spot and just like that, you know, and you can't hit this ball, but you want to get back right on the back side of this ball. So I'm just gonna, let's say I missed both balls, but I'm just trying to put it right back on the spot, let's just say. Anyways, let's just say it's froze like that. It's another way of taking a foul. Then you would have to take another ball out of your hole. But at the same time, you can play that shot to be where you want to put them in a spot where they can't make no ball, and you knew that ball was coming up, so you put the cue ball in the right spot. You know, just little things. Those are little gimmicks of why and what you would do as far as when you're playing one pocket. The other greatness in one pocket is there's shots that you'll never shoot on in any other game for any other reason. So you'll see some shots like, all right, so say that's my hole over there. I can't cut the ball in, let's just say. So those are just some of the shots that come up, you know. There's shots like this one, you know. You can do another one, you know. Let's say that's my hole over there. This is the ball. Those are just some of the basic shots that come up, especially when it's down to one last ball. I want to thank you for following the YouTube channel, and in order for me to keep on doing these and bringing them live to you and try to do something new and answer questions and comments and anything else, what would you like to see the next time we do a video? Maybe if you go ahead and drop a message in there for me in the comments, then we can look into it, and maybe that'll be the next thing that comes up on a video for you. So I want you to like, share, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's the easiest thing in the world. It's free. You know, if you want this content, you want it to keep coming new, I'm here for you. I just want to help the game grow, and let's get everybody playing one pocket.